Hi people, it's great to be with you once again. I've actually gone ahead to create a number of tables that I'll be needing through this project. Like I told you earlier, I won't be typing this codes for you to watch. I don't want to bore you with all of that. Since we've understood how to do this, what I've done is that I've typed out everything and saved. So I'll just explain through everything that I've done. Now I've created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables in addition to the one that we created earlier, making 9. First of all, we have this admin table. Now this is the table that is going to have all of our system administrators. Whoever is an administrator would have to be on this table. Now it has an integer, an ID of data type int, okay, auto incremented here. Then we have a username, first name, middle name, last name, mobile number, email address, his access level, time when he was registered onto the system, when he last logged into the system, status if he's active or inactive at the time. We are making our primary key the ID and unique key our username. Alright, well that's it for the admin table. Okay, I'm going to close this off, or there's no need. Secondly, I have the examiner table, and this is where all of our instructors are registered. ID, username, first name, middle name, last name, mobile number, email address, access level, reg time, when his field was last edited, when he last logged into the system, his status if active or not, making ID the primary key and username our unique key. Alright, next we have our exam candidates, and that's the student. You have the ID, username, first name, middle name, last name, mobile number, right there, email address, access level, added by whoever created the student, when he was registered, time, when his field was last edited, when he last logged into the system, status if active or not, primary key is ID, unique key is username as always. Okay, next we have our examinations table. You can choose to call it your course table. It has the list of registered courses on the system. So here we have our ID auto incremented, we have the exam title or course name, we have the time allowed for how long you want the course to run or the test to run, number of questions that this test carries, number added. This field keeps track of how many questions the instructor have added already for that test. This is the examiner created on when the test was created, who created the test, last edit when the test was last edited, status if it's active or inactive. So we have ideas. Can you imagine this? So the unique, pardon this oversight, the unique key is the exam title. Alright, save that off. I'm sorry about that. Alright, next off is the candidate course. Now this table is a little bit tricky. What we have here, whenever a candidate registers for a course, his ID, the candidate's name, his username per se, the course and the time added are all installed into this table. When we start, you see the need for this. I don't want to confuse you with too much details right now, but when we proceed into the main coding, when we start building the system, you see the need for this table. Right now you might not understand, but we have to differently take out these details and put it in a separate table. It's going to make life much more easier for us. in a minute. All right. Next is the questions table. Every question that get added to the system, irrespective of the course, is installed into this table. So here we have the ID, the exam title for which the question was added, the question serial number, based on the exam title, the exact number of the question. Okay, don't worry, in a minute you'll understand that once we get into the coding. The question itself, option A, option B, option C, option D, our answer, when it was created, who created the question, when it was last edited, status of this question. Unique key. Why do I keep making this mistake? This is what copy and paste can do to your life, guys. So unique key is question. Save this. Alright, next is the instructions table. Every examination has exam instructions that examiner would love students to see before they proceed. Now this is the table that houses all of these instructions as supplied by the instructor. All right. So it contains, this table has the following fields: ID, title of the exam, the instruction, when it was last edited, when it was added, who added the instruction, status of this instruction, and then a primary key of ID. Great. Finally, we have our results table. Every completed test, results for every completed test gets posted into this table. Now following fields makes up this table. We have the ID, the candidate who wrote the test, exam title, the score, user ID. So this is the candidate username, this is his ID, time completed, when the test was completed, and we're making ID unique key. Alright, well that's it for the table. I'm sure we understand every bit of this coding because we've explained everything that there is to creating a table from code. But should in case anything seems complicated or vague, is there anything you don't understand, you can kindly leave a comment below at the comment area for me, and I'll be sure to look at it and give you a detailed explanation. Well, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey people, what's going on? I hope you guys are doing all right. Okay, today we are gonna be using SQL to build some of the tables that we use through the system. So the essence of today's lesson is to show you guys how to create tables from PHP, from code, instead of using phpMyAdmin to create your tables. You can create it from code. It actually makes life easier for you. For example, if you have a large project and then you're building from your system in the house, not on the server, then you get to build displaying this great number of tables. You get to do them on your local host on your system, just like I'm doing. What do you think is gonna happen whenever you want to transfer these tables into the real database on the server? You have to start creating them afresh, and that's like double work. Nobody loves working like double or twice as much as they ought to. So the easiest way out of this is to create these tables from code and then import them into phpMyAdmin or whatever database server you're using. Alright, without any need to say much, let's just dive into the good stuff. Alright, I'm going to clear this off. Alright, let's save this page as username, because that's the table we're gonna create. We're gonna create our username table for all of our users, and this should be in the tables folder right here. So let's call this username for every and any user on this system. Save. Alright then, we're gonna create table. Then what's the table name? Username. Sorry guys, we have a problem here. We saved this as usernames.php. I have to resave it as username.sql, not php. So I'm gonna delete this off. Usernames, all files. .sql, and that's great. Alright then, usernames, we open our brackets, and before breaking this down, let me just end this with a semicolon. You can break this down and put all the codes in here. Alright, the first field I will be creating is, as it usually goes, the ID field, and this is going to be of a data type integer, and we are going to give it a space for 11 characters. Then we should specify this at not null, because we don't want this to be empty at any point. Then, just like the ID field always goes, it should be an auto incremented field. It should be able to increment by itself, so that whenever a field is added to the system, it automatically fix in the next number. It's like serial numbering, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Alright, okay, auto underscore increment. Alright, and next field, we're going to separate these by commas, is the username. The username that our user has selected. Username data type should be varchar. Now varchar takes in characters, and it actually takes in characters like strings and stuff like that. Okay, let's give this a space of 20. Okay, and then it should also have this not null attributes. Alright then, next stuff is the password field. Varchar. Let's make this 35. Okay, shouldn't be empty at any point. We don't want that. Next stuff is the user ID. The unique ID of our user outside the username. Every user has an ID based on the system, so user underscore ID. Alright, this is an integer. Then we are going to make it like 5 characters long maximum. 5. It can't be null. Okay, next stuff is our users access level. This is what differentiates an instructor from the system admin and from the student. Alright, so access level, of course, is an integer. Character space should be just 1, because we'll be using either 1, 2 or 3 to differentiate based off these different access levels. We know that just like I've explained earlier, we have three major users on this system: the instructor, the admin and the student or candidate. So we'll be using either a 1 for the admin, a 2 for the instructor, or a 3 for our exam candidates. So all of these are just singular digits, that's why we'll be needing just one character space. Alright then, and finally let's set a new unique key to this table. Our unique key, unique, am I spelling that correctly? Key, our unique key should be the username field. Username, open bracket, username. What the hell? Great. Alright, I think this does the magic for us. Let's save this off. So whenever I come um whenever I come into localhost, what we can do is, instead of creating a table from scratch, you can see that we are still in our CBT tutorials, which is the database we created for this project. What we can do is to import this file we just created and see if there are errors or if our table gets created. Choose file. So where have we saved this file? It's in local disk C. Okay, example, htdocs. Then from there you can locate lessons, CBT tables, and usernames. Perfect. And scroll down and click on this go. We have some errors. Incorrect table definition. Here there can only be 102 column. Okay. Our auto increment on this, our ID should be null. Let's leave this at null, because the system phpMyAdmin automatically fills it in, so we are not expected to supply anything. Let's try importing again and see what happens. Right, usernames. Still there can only be 102 colon, and it must be defined as a key. Okay, this is where we are missing it. It has to be our primary key. I actually forgot to define a primary key for our table. Let me break this down a little bit. A primary key, okay, and let's put in our ID field. I think this should do the magic. Remember to add a comma here. Save. Alright guys, this got to work. You don't break my heart again. I'll scroll down, go, and boom, here we are. Like magic, right? We have our table. So whenever we come to view the structure of or rather we'll click on this table here, the usernames. You can see that we have the ID, username, password, user ID, access, everything well created for us. So the next time I want to upload this on a different server, I don't have to go through the problem of having to start creating tables and making sure that the fields are exactly as they are from the program, you know, all of that trash. You simply just import this table. It makes life a lot more easier. Well, what I'm going to do is that in the next video I'll create these tables already and then just show you guys the code and import them into our database, so we don't have to spend much time. I'm sure that you've understood totally how to create table from code based off this example. Alright then guys, I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave your comments and subscribe on my channel. Alright. Hey, hi everyone. It's been a while. I have to apologize for taking this long before having to record this video. Duty calls has been a very busy season for me. Alright, today we are going to be building our connection file, or rather in this video we'll be connecting to our database. Before connecting, we'll have to first of all create the database. Alright, we'll be using PHP my admin, so let's create our database. Alright, where is my example? Okay, admin. Alright, databases, create new database. So let's name this CBT underscore lesson CBT tutorial, and hit create. Here we go. Once we've done that, we have our database, no tables, nothing, CBT tutorial, so we can now build a connection to this database. Okay, this is a blank file. I would love to save this off as there's nothing to save. Okay, PHP new file, that's better. So let's save this as connect.php. lessons CBT. In our include folder would have this to be connect.php. alright, let's save. Okay, so we start off by creating our PHP block, PHP, and break it down. Okay, first off, would have to be building or creating a number of variables that would hold the needed information that we'll be using in connecting to the database. First off, would have to create guys, I'm believing you have a decent knowledge of programming, PHP especially. You have to know that to create a variable, you start with a $sign. So let's have that $sign there, and let's name our variable what kind of host are we using? A local host, so let's call this variable db host. So let's pass localhost in there. This is a string, so it should be wrapped in this brace, in whatever, what do you call that in localhost, and we end this with a semicolon. Okay, second variable will be the username of our database, the database we just created. We know that everything was left as default, so the default username for database with phpMyAdmin is root. So let's have this db $db underscore username. It's equal to root. Next off, we'll be creating our password variable. This is db underscore pass, which is left as default of blank. Then finally, our database name, $db underscore name, is equal to, we called it what? What CBT tutorials. Perfect. So it's equal to CBT underscore tutorials. Beautiful. Alright guys, since we have these variables up and running, the next step will be to create our connection string, and we'll be using the MySQL connect function. Alright, so my SQL underscore connects open close braces. So what we'll be doing here is to, instead of keying in these things directly, we'll now inculcate the variables we've created. Now it has to be in this order that I'm going to supply it. First of all, we'll supply this, our host, copy this, drop it here, separated by commas. The next one is the database username, so copy this off, copy, drop it right here. Next off is the password, so would copy this, db pass, copy and paste it right here. Okay, then let this or die. We can therein put our, or herein put supply an error message. Sorry guys, connection failed. Okay, so let's end this with a semicolon. Okay, and finally, how easy it is to connect with database, my brother. Finally, would have to specify the database that would want to connect to. If you were taking notes, we haven't used this last variable, so this is the point where we'll be using it. So MySQL select db MySQL underscore select. Okay, there we go, select db. Now supply our database name, so we'll be copying this off. Let's copy this off and drop it right here. And we can still supply this die function here, or die, just in case. Someone is calling my phone. Guys, you would have to excuse me for a moment. It's an important call I need to pick. Alright guys, I'm so sorry, that was money calling, and you don't ignore money calls. I'm really sorry for that. Okay, all that is left is to supply the error message should in case our connection goes in there and don't find the specified database. We display this to the user. Sorry guys, the specified database does, is that how to spell those? What the hell? Does not exist. Full stop. Now this is all you're gonna need to connect to our database. Once you understand everything here, you already know how to connect to a database. I think what you can do to see that there are no errors in this connection file is to try to navigate to it from the browser. Okay, let's see, localhost localhost forward slash what folder cbt lessons forward slash cbt forward slash includes forward slash connect dot php. That was a long one. MySQL function access denied for user roots at localhost using password yes. Alright, I have another call coming in. Can you guys please excuse me again? Alright guys, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, I really apologize. What do we have here? Warning, MySQL connects access denied for user root at localhost using password yes, but we didn't specify any passwords. Sorry guys, connection failed. This is our error message. Right, so what the hell is going on? Let's see. MySQL connect db host db username. This is our problem. db password. How can we have db username? Our password has to be empty. So let's save this off and refresh this page, and good, we are good to go. All good. Alright, in the next video we are going to start building our tables, the various tables that I'll be needing for this system. I hope you totally understand how to connect to a database. Now, should in case you guys have any question or you don't understand anything, or maybe stuff is not running for you, you can just put down comments, put your comments down there for me out. I'm definitely gonna attend to them. And don't forget to subscribe on my channel guys. I'm going to definitely appreciate that. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.